So, Mr. Minister, it's such a pleasure to see you here and also to share with you and share with us your wonderful ideas on many things. So, given the diversity in a country like Malaysia and also the extremely complex nature of Southeast Asia, as you used to be Foreign Minister of Malaysia, when you look back, what's the main experience of Malaysia ensuring national unity and how, as well as how to ensure the unity in Southeast Asia? Yeah.
So thank you, Professor Zhang. It is indeed, we are deeply honored of your presence today. And with regard to your very important question indeed, we need to look at a larger picture of how the society, especially in Malaysia as well as the Southeast Asian nation, are formed. If you look at the bigger picture, it embraces a larger world's civilization as well, such as Islam, Chinese, as well as Indian civilization, where all these civilizations, the three civilizations, converge here in Southeast Asia as well as in Malaysia. I would say Malaysia is a manifestation of the diverse cultural identity that makes it a special, a very unique identity itself, in which rather than bringing to certain negative, what they call this, inter-religious or inter-ethnic rivalries, actually it brings to peaceful coexistence between the different civilizations. That's simply, to me, is rather unique in itself. But of course, that is one aspect of the civilizational perspective. Another perspective is this from how Malaysia in particular, we form the society itself and the nation alongside with it. The post, as you know, we experiencing several colonialisms, period of colonialism from different colonial powers. That doesn't mean we lost our own identity. Right after the independence, all our founding fathers were discussing on the type of nation that we want to forge. So as a result, we came into discussion of how people of different faiths, different ethnic groups, different identity can live peacefully under the principle of peaceful coexistence. And of course, the political factors also plays its part. As you know, the Malaysia, as you all know, we inherited from the British system, where we have the multi-party system, and which is quite challenging to a certain part of our formative years. But later on, we were able to bring all differences under the one platform called Barisan Nasional. That lasted for 60 years with stability, and also for the people of different ethnic groups can live peacefully in this country.
And indeed, this year marks the 50th anniversary of Sino-Malaysian diplomatic ties. And we are here, in part to celebrate this event. And we can feel this kind of friendship build up over so many years between the two countries. So as the former foreign minister, what's your take on Sino-Malaysian relation at this particular moment? I know you're also a great friend of Foreign Minister Wang Yi.
Historically, China and Malaysia relations has been there for about a few hundred years. If you read the historical track, you find names where you have all these admirals, so Cheng Ho and the rest. That's already actually formed the basis of the different ethnic group between and the relationship between China and Malaysia. But it prolongs for hundreds of years. But officially, of course, we formed in 1974 when Malaysia was the first Southeast Asian country to have official diplomatic relations with China. And until today, continues by leaps and bounds. After 50 years, actually, we have already reached this 50 years. Malaysia remains good friends to China, and I believe similarly in the reciprocity. China also always shows their sincerity in our relationships.
And not long ago, we came across this report from the Munich Security Conference. The title of the report, the scene of the report is lose-lose. And I read that report. I said it's not that accurate. It's a lose-lose for Europe, unfortunately, but a win-win for Asia, particularly for China and ASEAN. Because Europe's are now experiencing war. And Asia, represented by ASEAN and China, have experienced peace, development, prosperity over the past 4 or 5 decades. So there must be some lessons from it. My own conclusion is both ASEAN and China have made very firm position, that is, we embrace peaceful solution to disputes, we embrace independence, that's crucial, and then we respect each other. I think that's the secret of this whole, what I call the China-ASEAN success, which has a population 3 times of European population, over 2 billion versus 700 million. That's my humble position. What's your...
ASEAN's positions is not formed after the binary approach, where you have this, whether you want to be with us or against us. Malaysia, ASEAN for that matter, we are looking into a more peaceful way of resolving any potential threat or dispute. Because we know for a fact that Malaysia, such as small countries like us, we can't afford to simply create animosity or create any potential enemy. So we have to avoid any form of condescending. This is our Prime Minister always say this, hectoring attitude. This is not the attitude. And furthermore, I believe this is not the attitude of Asian people.
And my final question concerns this whole idea of multipolar world. Increasingly, we with the BRICS and with the rise of the global South, I remember not long ago, EU foreign affairs representative Borrelli said, from his point of view, good or bad, in fact, for Global South, now there are alternatives, reliable alternatives in all the fronts, technology, economic affairs, in ideology, in military matters. And so he feels a kind of threat to the unipolar world. I think for the Global South, this is fair, this is correct. We should embrace multipolarity. What's your take on that?
It is indeed. That's why Malaysia, for example, and I think for this ASEAN, for that matter, have taken a very clear stance on embracing everybody's, all countries to come together, regardless whether they are so-called superpowers or not superpowers, because that's why the very ideas of ASEAN plus 3 ASEAN, in order for us to extend our conversations, dialogues with the rest of the world. So we believe that with having multipolar arrangement, it is much more better. We cannot allow any form of dominations anymore from any parties, from any countries to tell us what to do, or to dictate their terms, for example. We feel that it's time for all parties to come together, to sit down, to find the best solution for us to live peacefully. ASEAN will continue with this mission to make sure that this region must not be turned into another flashpoint for any powers.
I agree with this 100%. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Professor, for having me.